What's up, family? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna, coming to you today on Sunday for Sucka-Free Sundays. We're going to have a lot of awesome stories coming up in the news. I just want to start off today's message with asking you guys a question while we're getting started. The question is, how many of you guys have been listening to me, and now, if you have not already been doing this, now you walk in outside with your head on a swivel, paying attention to your surroundings, not making any assumptions that you are safe, not making any assumptions that it won't happen to you. How many of you all are walking around in these streets prepared, for as prepared as you can be, being smart about your movement? I want y'all to think about that because that's going to go into today's conversation. So before we go ahead and get started with our storyline, we have a really good storyline. I want you guys to share the video. If you are on YouTube, I'm going to need you all to share the video. If you're on Facebook, you have to share the video, like and follow the page, subscribe to the channel on Facebook and on YouTube. But most importantly, converse in the comment section. For my moderators, shout out to all my moderators. I'm so happy that you guys are here. And I want you to know that you don't really have to block anybody today unless they're acting up. If they start acting up, of course, we will block them. If they're not acting up and they're just having an opinion that might be different, that's okay. I want you guys to know. Somebody said, Doc, you looking good. Thank you. I don't even have on my eyes today. You say I look good. Thank you so much. Usually I put on my eyeliner and my mascara. I don't have on any eye doc makeup today. So thank you for that. Now, let me tell you the stories we're going to talk about today. This is Sucker-Free Sunday. I know I'm not always on Sundays. So let me tell you about the storyline for today. Sucker-Free Sundays is when I'm going to examine a number of stories that are in the news. And I'm going to have you guys think about how you're moving and how you can remain sucker free. I want to make this very clear. It's not to say that any of the victims are suckers. Is not to say that any of the victims are suckers. That is not what today is about. This is about us recognizing what is happening, and we are making a conscious decision to change the way we are moving out in the streets. That's what we're going to talk about on Sundays. Y'all know Fridays is Mental Health Fridays. If I come on a Monday, which I hardly ever do, it is Black Love Monday. Tuesdays would be something that's political. Wednesdays is what the F Wednesdays. It's stuff that's like, wow, what the F? When we just are surprised that that stuff happened. Thursdays would be one of the throwback topics, something I already covered. I might upload a video that's old, or I might readdress something that's old. So it's going to be our throwback Thursdays. Fridays, Mental Health Fridays. It's Shooter Saturdays. We're going to talk about different shootings. And then it's Sucker-Free Sundays. Y'all got that? So let's go ahead and get started. We have 6 stories I'm going to cover. I'm not going to be teaching. I'm just going to be covering the conversations in these stories. I'm going to highlight the stories, then we're going to have a conversation about it, is what I meant to say. I'm not going to be teaching anything. I'm not giving it a diagnosis. I'm not examining it from a mental health perspective. I'm not unpacking it. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just going to put the stories out there. I'm going to tell you how I think. You share with me how you think, and it's all good, right? It's all good. Somebody say, gee, Doc, I feel like I'm binge watching you today. I love it. I love it. Let me know if you got a channel and I'll binge watch you too. So, story number 1, we're going to talk about the U.S. postal worker out of Milwaukee. So, we have any family members in our community from Milwaukee? Go ahead and put where you from Milwaukee. We're going to talk about your town today. Then we're going to talk about the Uber passenger who decided he woke up and he wanted to kill somebody today. He found his victim. We're going to talk about that and why that story is extremely important, because a lot of us might be able to relate to the victim. We're going to talk about the football coach, the 21-year-old football coach who was transporting his various teammates to some football tryouts, and they got caught in the line of a shootout. He took 10 bullets. Unfortunately, one of the teens died. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the man who forced his way into a woman's apartment, didn't know that she was armed and loaded, baby. I love her. Love her. Shout out to that sister. Shout out to that sister who was armed and loaded and clipped his ass. I love the Second Amendment. I'm a proud American when it comes to the Second Amendment. I love, Hercules. I love the Second Amendment. Clip him. You will not be coming into her house. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the JetBlue passenger who lost his damn mind and pulled a blade out on a woman, a married woman, whose husband was there. And I'm going to tell y'all what the husband did. And I'm going to tell you what happened on the plane. But he pulled out a knife, a blade on her behind. And y'all are going to be mad at the husband. I'm mad at the husband. I'm mad at the husband. We're going to talk about, we're going to take this to church. The last story is we are going to take it to church. And we're going to talk about Pastor, Lord Jesus. We're going to talk about Pastor Dwayne Dawkins. Dwayne Dawkins of Atlanta, who got caught out there on OnlyFans by his sneaky link. And we're going to talk about who his sneaky link was, because it wasn't who you'll think it was. I know some of y'all know, but some people don't know. So let's go ahead to the postal worker. We have a postal worker, Andre Cross, 44 years old. He was on the force on the job for 18 years, I believe. And everyone in the post office describes him to be a man that had such a big personality. If you came to work upset, this man was known to make you laugh. This man had a joke for everything. And he was a carrier, a postal carrier. He was on his route just around 6 o'clock p.m. when the sun has already set. And for some reason, somebody shot him to death. Now, here it is, 44 years old, on the job for 18 years, has a wife, has children, was doing his job. Now, I don't know what was going on in his personal life. I want to put that out there because, when we're critical thinkers, I know sometimes we become so emotional over the stories. We're like, oh my God, this is so sad. I can't believe this happened. And this is sad. And I cannot believe it happened. But I want y'all also to know that we don't know everything in this story. So I am not going to be on here making any assertions about this story. We don't know everything. I don't know how his wife and children would describe him. I don't know if he was doing anything that he wasn't supposed to be doing. I don't know if he was just a regular victim. I don't know these things. But what I'm trying to communicate is how many of us go to work every day not expecting for something to happen to us like that? How many of us go to work every day doing our job and don't keep our heads on swivels? We don't think about anyone coming up to us, or we assume that we're going to get home safely, or we just don't even think about it. How many of us every day move about every day like nothing is happening, like nothing will happen? And I'm not saying that was this man. I'm not saying, but you got to really think about it. How much is a postal worker going to be able to do? I think it's a sad story because I watch the postal people come into where I live at all the time, delivering the mail. Most of them mind their business. They're just doing their own thing. I cannot think or fathom who would run up on a postal worker and kill him. And then run to their car and get in their car and take off. Like, are we waking up just thinking about killing postal workers, or is this something personal? I don't know. I don't know. People are concerned in Milwaukee. They're saying that Milwaukee is one of those areas that are out of control right now. They're saying that no one is safe in Milwaukee, and all types of things are happening within the community. And it don't matter what you do for a living, anybody will get it. I don't know what was going on with that case, but what I'm saying to you all, just because you have one of these jobs that you think you're safe at, I don't want you to make this assumption. I don't want you to assume that you are safe. You always, always, always have to think about your safety. No matter what kind of job you are in, you should always think about your safety, not just you getting behind the wheel driving to work and you're worrying about not getting in a car accident. I understand that that's important, but you need to think about your safety when you are in the building, when you are in the field, when you are en route, when you're on public transportation, when you got strangers in your car. You constantly got to think about your safety, and then think about if this is the line of work for you. I'm not saying anything about and Andre Cross, may he rest in peace, but I'm just saying in general. How many of y'all heard about that story? How many of you all heard about that story where he's delivering mail and lost his life? It's crazy out there. It's crazy in this world. Let's go on to story number 2. This one right here, it just broke my heart. I gotta read y'all some of this because I really don't understand how this happened. Let's get into the Uber driver. Here we are. We have an Uber driver who was stabbed to death by a passenger who was sitting in her back seat. This is out of Louisiana. It says a woman working as a Uber driver was stabbed to death in a parking lot of a hotel by a man that just wanted to kill someone. Details of the fatal stabbing were first handed down by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office just after 10 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, December 7th. In the release, Sheriff Joseph Lopinto confirmed that a woman was found inside a vehicle with a stab wound in the parking lot of a Travel Lodge hotel in Harvey around 3 o'clock p.m. The victim was transported to a hospital where she died from her injuries. In a press conference at noon on Friday, Sheriff Lopinto identified the victim as 54-year-old Yolanda DeLeon, who officials say was slain after driving, check this out, y'all, 29-year-old Brandon Jacobs from a location in New Orleans to the hotel. So she was 54 years old. Her name is Yolanda. May she rest in peace. She was transporting 29-year-old Brandon Jacobs. He was in a location in New Orleans, heading to the Travel Lodge Hotel. Lopinto said the motive behind Jacob's random and brutal act was clear. He just wanted to kill someone. After taking him into custody a few hours after the stabbing, Lopinto says Jacob provided deputies with a full confession. His confession basically stated he woke up yesterday morning and decided he was going to kill someone and decided that was going to be his day. Lopinto said Jacobs hailed an Uber ride earlier in the day. Check this out, y'all. But didn't make that driver a victim upon realizing he would need a ride back to the hotel he was staying at. So he ordered a second ride back, which Yolanda accepted through the rideshare app, which is Uber. We asked them specifically, how did you pick her? His response was, I didn't pick her. Uber picked her. She was the random person that picked him up that day. Moments after Yolanda had driven Jacobs back to the Travel Lodge on the West Bank Expressway, he brutally stabbed her. He was in the back seat, stabbed her from behind, exited the vehicle, and just walked away casually. Lopinto said Jacobs recorded and posted a gruesome video. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? We're going to go over these facts again. He recorded and posted a gruesome video of the aftermath on Facebook. The video has since been taken down. DeLeon of Marrero worked as a New Orleans Police Department budget analyst for 10 years. Sergeant Ferguson, our superintendent, whatever his name is, Ferguson said she was loved by many in the department. Our team is taking it pretty hard, Ferguson said. She will be dearly missed. She was very quiet, very humble, a quiet giant, I would say, because she meant a lot to this department and it tore our employees up. Yolanda had also been caring for her ailing mother for the last several years. The investigation by the Jefferson Parish authorities remained ongoing. Jacobs was booked on for second-degree murder. Now let's talk about this, y'all. Yeah, Anton, I hate hearing this too. Let's talk about this for a second, y'all. 29 years old. 29 years old. Woke up and said today was going to be his day. Not only was he conscious enough to say, hold on, wait. Whew, this one right here, I can't stab this one right here. So consider that Uber driver lucky. He said, I can't stab her right there because I need a ride back home. So when I'm ready to get back to the hotel, whoever they send me next, she gonna get it. Not only is she gonna get it, but I'm going to record it and I'm gonna post it on social media. See how dumb the criminals are in this country? And then he's blessed with second-degree murder. This is the country we're living in right now. I don't know. Maybe some people don't have a problem with what's going on in this country. I have a problem with what's going on in this country. So Zay Fairley, I'm going to say this to you. I get that you're saying justice for Raheem Carter. I will look it up, but you don't need to spam the comment section. So I'm going to politely ask you to stop spamming so you won't get blocked. But if you keep spamming, you're going to get blocked. I have no problem looking up the story, beloved. I have no problem seeing if this is something I want to talk about or maybe passing it on to Michi. I have no problem doing that. But you cannot interrupt the community by doing that. Okay, I will put it up there and I will leave it up there for a while, but please respect this channel as I try to respect you all. Now, y'all know me. You get disrespectful, I get disrespectful. And then y'all all get surprised. I'm like, oh my God, the doc is losing her mind. No, I'm human and I don't like disrespect. I will research Raheem Carter. I'm sorry to hear about it from you, but I need you to stop respectfully. So if somebody said, why not first degree murder? Because it was planned. I'm gonna tell you why not first degree murder, in my opinion. In my opinion. It's not first degree murder because some of us, since y'all want to go there, we're gonna talk about it. Some of y'all are pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't push for reform. I'm not saying that we shouldn't push for reform, but the reform has to be the correct form reform. And some of us in our community, we vote for people in these positions that can impact law, change law, enforce law. We vote for these people not realizing what we're doing. And then when we're handed something like second degree murder, we like, why not first? 1 minute we don't want nobody black to go to jail, and I'm being facetious, okay? So don't come in my comment section. And it's just for illustrative purposes. But in one breath, we don't want nobody black to go to jail. And when somebody does something gruesome like this, then we say, oh, why not first? It's like, this is the lawless country we live in now. No one is afraid of it. When this dude, this 29-year-old murderer, can wake up and say, after breakfast, I'm going to kill somebody and not be afraid of the consequences, goes to his hotel where he was arrested, post it all on social media, on Facebook. So, even if a video is deleted, that still stays there. It never goes away. We think we are deleting videos, but we're not deleting anything. You commit a crime, trust me, they're going to pull your archive, your deleted archive, and they're going to see exactly what you did. He posted it up there. He gave a full confession that said Today was just the day. And we saying, why is it first degree? Some of us didn't even want to have bail, right? We didn't want any bail for people. We didn't want bail for people. Remember that video I did when I asked you guys, bail or no bail? Should this person get bail or should this person go? Remember that? Right? Remember that? This is the kind of stuff that is happening in our country, and we're not thinking things all the way through. Why is it that we have a community of killers, criminals, you name it, that no longer fear consequences? When you wake up and say, I'm going to kill this 54-year-old woman who is just trying to make extra money, because I don't know her whole story, but if I heard correctly, this woman was also helping children in a community. So she was working, she was trying to hustle up extra money on her days off so that she can continue to help the community. That's who this woman, I believe she is, where I heard somebody say that, right? That this woman actually helped the community. It just doesn't make sense. Where here she is, a 54-year-old woman. I don't know if she had children or not. It doesn't say it. So I'm assuming that she has no children. I'm assuming she isn't married because those things were not listed, but she could be. Who knows? But here it is, a 54-year-old woman with a master's degree, works at New Orleans Police Department as a budget analyst, been on a job for 10 years, taking care of her sick mother, gets stabbed to death. It just doesn't make sense. And so here we are as a community that talks about issues that impact the melanated community. We talk about these kind of issues, but we don't really like to talk about these issues here. Here it is, a 54-year-old woman of melanin stabbed and killed by a 29-year-old man, male, whatever you want to call, whatever language you want to use, of melanin. This is not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Who says, I just want to kill somebody? Post the video on Facebook. Because it's cool to do that now. It's cool to post videos of you raping people, killing people, robbing people, knocking people out, throwing children over the bridge. It's cool to be lawless in America. It's cool to be lawless. We are in the new wild, wild west. And I think we have to start talking about these stories. You want to have true transformation? We have to really start giving us the general knowledge that we need to arm ourselves and see everybody, including our own, as potential murderers, killers, rapists, robbers, thugs, even if they wear a suit. Even if they wear a suit. We only want to talk about when somebody does something to us. But this is an everyday issue that goes on. The mail carrier is just doing his job. He was a married man. Now, I don't know what his marriage was like. I'm not here to talk about that because they didn't report on that, but let's just say it. He is a married man with children, working a gruesome job as a postal carrier for 18 years, managed to keep a smile and lost his life. A 54-year-old who went to school, got her education, got a master's, taking care of the community, taking care of her mama, and got stabbed to death. Let's go on to the football coach. Because I think some of this can stay with you guys with the football coach. I think a lot of y'all can relate. We say that we want our youth to do something. We want our young adults to make sure that they are mentors or mentees to the community. We say that the young people don't have leaders, they don't have people to look up to. This is the stuff that we say, correct? We need the young people to get on board and do their job in helping to take the even younger people off the streets and find productive things to do. But here it is in Florida, we have a football coach who was critically wounded when he used his own body to shield 4 children who were in his SUV from a drive-by shooting that killed a 13-year-old boy. This is out of Jacksonville. Now his name, he wasn't named, but he's 21 years old. And his attorney didn't name him, doesn't want him named for whatever reason, I don't know. But he was said to be driving the boys home from football tryouts on Saturday when a vehicle pulled up to the intersection of Moncrief Road West and New Kings Road in Jacksonville. Now, y'all know Jacksonville is one of those other spots that are hot. Somebody inside the vehicle opened fire. According to his attorney, who's John Phillips, the 21-year-old coach dove to provide cover for the boys and was shot 10 times, suffering serious injuries requiring multiple surgeries. One of the children, 13-year-old Prince Holland, was killed, and an 11-year-old boy was injured in the shooting but is expected to recover. The 2 other boys in the coach's SUV, ages 14 and 15, were unharmed. All right. So far, no arrests have been made in connection with the deadly incident, but Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters on Monday vowed to pursue the case until the person or people who fired the shots are held to account. This grief has emboldened us and hardened our resolve. Waters, from a press conference on the steps of Police Memorial Building, he said, to those responsible for this terrible act, know this: we will not rest, we will not tire, we will not waver. Sounds nice. Y'all ready for this? A reward of $14,000 is now being offered for information leading to an arrest. $14,000. This 13-year-old was only worth $14,000. This coach who took 10 bullets is only worth $14,000. Holland was the youngest of 8 children who was remembered by his family as a good kid. Holland is the 13-year-old. The 13-year-old actually died. He was the youngest of 8 children and was remembered by his family as a good kid who was on the honor roll at school. On the honor roll. This melanated boy was on the honor roll. He went to church every Sunday. He went to church every Sunday. He played sports. He took other kids to play sports so they wouldn't be out here doing drugs, smoking, and being in gangs, his mother, Chantel Brown, told Station 4 News. Holland's dream was to play for the Kansas City Chiefs as a wide receiver when he grew up. The heartbroken mother appealed to the public to come forward and speak up that her son gets justice. Y'all hear what I'm trying to say here? Imagine that. Imagine that. You want your child to remain drug-free. You want your child to remain gang-free. You want your child to succeed. You want your child to stay alive. You want the best for your children. And so you have this child that wants to play football, and he says, Mom, I want to play football. And the coach says, I'm going to take him over to try out, and you trust this person. And I'm not saying the 21-year-old was involved in anything. That could be it. I'm not here to analyze that. I'm going to let the police do what they do because I ain't a cop. I'm going to mind my business there. But what I'm saying to y'all is I can just imagine this 21-year-old saying, you know what? I'm going to help little shorties in my community. I'm going to help the little shorties do something with their lives. I'm going to help them get ahead. I'm going to try to keep them safe on these streets. I want to be, if 21 years old, I want to be involved. I don't want them to be out here in gangs, using drugs, selling drugs. I want to do something different. A lot of 21-year-olds nowadays don't do that. I'm not saying there aren't people who do. I'm saying a lot of 21-year-olds nowadays don't take on that kind of responsibility or burden. They don't carry that cross, so to speak, on their shoulders. But here it is. He goes out, he says, let me do what I have to do. I can't help everybody in my community, but these boys right here, hey, they don't want to be in gangs. They don't want to be involved in that. I'm going to help them out. And here it is. Mama says, okay, yes, you could take him to play football, because here it is. She a mama of 8. She couldn't do it. And this ain't no shame to her. She got to care for 7 other children. He's the youngest of 8, so she got 7 more to care for. So she said, go ahead, take him. I trust you. You here, bring my baby back safe. Now these boys are in the car. One lost their life. The other one is fighting for his life, but everybody traumatized. The family is traumatized. The community is traumatized. The coach is traumatized. Everybody is now traumatized. From what? From people who are lawless. From people who are lawless. From people who like to shoot guns. From people who don't have any respect for life, not their lives or anyone else's life. And they're running out in these streets. And now we got to paint somebody's picture on our white t-shirt to go to another funeral of a 13-year-old. What kind of mama want to bury her 13-year-old child? What kind of mother want to go through that? What kind of mother kisses her son goodbye? Good luck. Do your damn thing. Catch that ball. I believe in you. You're going to Kansas City, baby. You're going to play for the Chiefs, hyping their son up for that child never to come back home. But here we are. We got somebody who don't give a freak about a 13-year-old being in the car, 11-year-old being in the car, a 14 or 15-year-old being in the car, a 21-year-old being in the car. They don't care about anybody being in that car. The only they wanted to do was light something up, and they did just that. But why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we having justice for Prince on our shirts? Why is that one any different? Why isn't that a justice for Prince? See, this is supposed to be sucker-free Sundays. Sucker-free Sundays. We got a lot of suckers out here. We got to remain sucker-free. We got a lot of suckers in this community. A lot of suckers. You understand what I'm trying to say? A lot of suckers. A lot of suckers. And a lot of us allow these lawless, criminal-minded suckers to continue to do what they do, to terrorize our community, to kill our children, and then get slapped on the wrist, get out 3, 4, 5 years later to turn around and go back from doing more sucker stuff. Sucker-free Sundays. No? Right? How many of you guys are actively helping your community? How many of you guys are actively helping your community? I'm not even defining for you what actively is. I'm just asking a simple question. How many of you all are actively helping your community? Let me tell you something. Baby, we ain't well. We ain't well. We are not well. And it's like you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to trust. We wasn't expected. We was not expecting for something like this to happen. They went to football tryouts, and their vehicle got lit up by bullets, with the coach taking 10 bullets. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's sad. I don't know about y'all, and I know that almost every generation talks about how bad things are, right? So we're not the first generation talking about how bad things are. But I don't know about y'all. People who did things in my community when I was growing up, those were the people that everybody protected. They were off limits. You could not do anything to any of those people. If you were even a drug dealer in my community, but you knew of the people who were helping the youth in the community, you would give money to them to make sure that you keep the youth safe. We went to community pools, we went to state parks, we went to amusement parks, we did overnight camping trips, we did so many. I remember a lady, I'm from the Bronx, okay? One I know, University Avenue over there in the Bronx. I will never forget one of my neighbors on my block. Her name was Miss Franklin. And every summer, and she died in her 90s, y'all. I kept in touch with her up until when she died. Every summer she had something for us. She would organize block parties where she would go to the city and get petitions to lock down the street, and they would block off the street for some hours, and she would get the 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 DJ. They would have the food, they would have the hot dogs, the burgers, everything out there in the street for us. We used to play games, hot scotch, double dutch, steal the bacon, hide go seek, you name it. We had everything going on. She had all of us out there. And the mothers would come downstairs with their chairs and just watch all of us play. We'll do racing. You know the thing we used to race and you'll jump over and they'll put the rope higher and higher to see how far you could jump. We had all type of competitions. We had dance competitions. She made it her business every year to do something for us. To do something for us. And no one would disrespect Miss Franklin. No one would disrespect her property. She had one of the cleanest houses on that block. No one disrespected Miss Franklin or her daughter. No one, because she was one of those people who cared about her community. And here it is, where I don't know about how y'all are in your community, but here it is, no one knows anybody anymore. It seems like no one even takes initiative to do things with anybody kids anymore. So this 21-year-old coach who went out there to try to do his part. Now I don't know what he was involved with, if he was involved with anything. I don't know that. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He tried to do his part because he cared. He cared. And here it is. He's now traumatized. He got to forever remember bullets hitting up his SUV. He has to forever remember taking 10 shots in his back. He has to forever remember a child in his car losing his life. He has to always remember the posting that says, I'll give y'all $14,000, whoever comes forward with some information, because that's all those lives were worth. Those lives were only worth $14,000 for a snitch to come through. We all know it's going to take a little bit more than $14,000 for snitches to come through. I mean, the economy is bad. Eggs are $7 a pop. Yogurt is $2. Milk is $5. It's going to take a little bit more than $14,000 for some snitches to come through. And I think they're worth more than $14,000 if you ask me. Right? Somebody says, my problem is the community don't even try to help. Many just want free shit without even giving anything to help our sick and elderly. Somebody else says, pardon my presence, you have to put on your own oxygen mask before you help other people. That doesn't mean that you just don't help your brothers and sisters out for your community. You have to be careful. Somebody else says you can't have tournaments with junkies. So now they junkies. I don't know. I can't. There's nothing for me to say. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead in this chat room and say all that stuff, right? I, who's the junkie? I'm confused. Y'all calling people in the community junkies? I mean, it was a 21-year-old that was out there transporting these youth to football tryouts? Is that a junkie? Is that a junkie? I don't understand. If that was a junkie, I'd rather have those kind of junkies who's trying to help the community. I don't understand what you mean. So part of my presence, can you help me to better understand what you mean about them being junkies? Because I don't want to make any assumptions, but in this story, I don't know if that the football coach was a junkie. But I'll tell you one thing. The reason why people are able to shoot up people and kill people, they're not scared of America anymore. America justice system is not scary anymore, with all due respect. Right? Shout out to Illinois. America justice system is not scary anymore. Oh, he said, Doctor, I was talking about the drug dealers putting on baseball tournaments. Well, I mean, is that basketball tournaments? I'm sorry. I was talking about the drug dealers putting on basketball tournaments. My bad. My boo over here corrected me. He my manager, right? He like basketball. I'm like baseball. I was a softball player in school. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. No, I'm not no basketball, baby. Give me a volleyball and softball. I play that team. But let's talk about that for just a second. I'm torn. I'm torn. Listen, I am not taking up for no drug dealers. But here it is. You're making mention that nobody wants to, you know, entertain these drug dealers putting on basketball tournaments for the community. And maybe you have a point. I don't know. But let me ask you a question. I'm kind of torn, but I'm going to ask you anyway. In your opinion, pardon my presence, and I'm just asking you because I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just asking you. In your opinion, what is the harm that you see for the drug dealers putting on the basketball tournaments for the kids? Are you saying because the drug dealers are responsible for the tournament and it's just opening up gunfire to occur and innocent people will get killed? Or is that what you're saying? I'm trying to see what you're saying with that. Because typically, how it happens, now I don't know if it's changed since I was growing up as a kid, but typically how it happens, the drug dealers will find a source to be able to give money to that source to say, do something for the kids, do something for the shorties. They weren't involved with it. They weren't there. They weren't active at the basketball tournaments. They didn't do anything like that, but they funded it to make sure the kids had something to do. Now, I'm not saying it's like that across the board from state to state, but it was like that in my neck of the woods, right? There was always somebody who would take some money from the drug dealer and then turn around and put some activities together for the kids. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm asking you, what are you saying? So he says it's because they sell drugs to their own communities. Put it on a tournament could never make amends for that. Okay, I got your point. I got your point. I don't think they're trying to make amends. I don't think they have a moral compass. These criminals don't have moral compasses, right? I think that sometimes you may have these people that sell drugs, and I'm not a drug dealer. I've never been with a drug dealer, so I can't speak for them. But I would say this: I think that sometimes some of these drug dealers, y'all know I'm a social worker, so I'm gonna take a different perspective sometimes. I think some of them may be placed in this position because they're in survival mode. That's what they have to do to survive. But they really do have a heart, and they really do want to see their little brothers or whatever the case is do better in the community, do better than them. Not all of them, some of them. So they might give money for them to do that. Now we're not even gonna get into that because I don't want to make the assertion that this football player was a drug dealer. The news is gonna come out, the information is gonna come out. It didn't say that so far. Now maybe y'all might know something that I don't know, and then you guys can tell me if y'all from that area. But that didn't come out. It didn't say that this 21-year-old coach who was taking the boys to tryouts was a drug dealer. And I don't want to start painting him in that picture because I don't know that information just yet. And we got to be careful how we spread information, right? Let's go on to the next story. Now, this one right here is my favorite story, y'all. How many times do I tell y'all to arm your houses? Now, y'all know YouTube is going to block my video for saying that, right? Because I haven't been sharing with you guys. I got to show you guys the strikes that I get. I'm like, why am I getting strikes? Why am I getting strikes on my channel? I get the weirdest strikes from YouTube. That's why I need y'all to come on. I need y'all to comment. I need y'all to share the video. That's important because they strike my they tell me talking about firearms and stuff is bad. But there's so many other people out there that talk about firearms and they have hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm just telling y'all to arm your homes. I mean, that's part of the Second Amendment. I'm just telling y'all to do what I would do. I'm just trying to tell y'all to do what this woman did. But my channel gets strikes. I just want you to know this is gonna be the conversation right here that's gonna get my channel strikes. So we might as well just have it, and everybody who's live is gonna catch it, and everybody else who, if they bring the video down, you ain't gonna catch it. Hopefully they don't bring the video down. But it says man shot, killed by woman after attempting to force his way into her apartment in Southeast Houston. A man was shot to death on Wednesday after police say he tried to force his way into a woman's apartment in Southeast Houston, according to the Houston Police Department. The shooting was reported, check this out, y'all. It ain't safe out in these streets. The shooting was reported around 3:00 p.m. at an apartment complex located in the 8900 block of Broadway Street. While the woman was inside the apartment, police said she heard someone banging on her door aggressively. She, when she opened the door, now I don't know why she opened her door. When she opened the door, the suspect tried to force his way inside, and that's when she shot him with a handgun. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Somebody started beating on her door very heavily. She opened the door, and a male that she didn't know started forcing his way into the apartment. She doesn't know who this guy is. There are some reports he might have been hanging around the complex the last few days. People have seen him around these apartments before, just kind of walking around, wandering around. Houston Police Department homicide investigator Bobby Smith said, but nobody really knows him. Nobody knows whether or not he actually lives in the apartments. Investigators said an 11-month-old, along with other adults, were also inside the home during the shooting, but no one was injured. Surveillance video obtained by the news shows a man in minutes before the shooting seemingly peering into apartment windows. Investigators confirmed the clothes seen on the man in the video are the same clothes that were on the man they found dead. Everybody knows everybody. We are kind of a tight-knit unit, one of the neighbors said. This little corner is getting like uncomfortable to be in. Police said the shooter was shaken up after the incident. She and other witnesses were taken to Houston Police Department headquarters for questioning, but police said it's unlikely she'll face charges. The identity of the deceased male, 43 years old, is pending notification to the family members by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. The shooting is under investigation. Now, what do I say to y'all all the time? I tell y'all, it ain't safe. It ain't safe. In the words of ASAP Rocky, right? It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe for the black or the white girls. It ain't safe out in these streets, y'all. Now, I don't know why she opened up the door. Now, maybe in Houston, Texas, somebody banging on your door like that and they ain't the police and you just open the door. I don't understand. I don't understand. Y'all got to find some way to not open up the door. Like you must have a window or something and you have to say, who is it out the window? Come over here to the window so I can see you. Right? That's how I used to get down when I was growing up. Come over here to the window so I can see you. Who are you looking for? He ain't here. What's your name? All right, baby. I'll tell him you came by, baby. Close the window. Close the window. Keep your door locked. I remember my mother's old apartment used to have one of those those crowbars that go into the floor, and then it goes into the lock on the door, the deadbolt. Remember those ones where you couldn't open up the door because the bar kept it closed? I mean, it was serious. It was serious. We have become too comfortable as a society, and we need not to be comfortable in the wild, wild west. It is crazy out here on these streets. And then some of y'all just constantly be in disagreement. Well, I don't like guns, and guns kill people, guns hurt people. This is crazy. I don't need no gun. I don't walk around scared of nobody. This is what some people say in our community. I don't make no sense. They gotta get guns off the street. If somebody want to kill your ass, they're gonna kill you whether they have a gun or a knife. They're going to or a rope and choke your ass out. They're going to kill you. Right? They're going to kill you if they want to kill you. But what you're going to do, somebody force their way into your apartment, you're going to run to the kitchen drawer and look for a knife? You're going to go look for a knife to try to fight them off for you? We are living in lawless America, and this is not a game. People don't care anymore. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to call somebody else with a gun and pray they get there on time, right? They're going to call somebody else with the gun. Right. Lana said guns are scary if you don't know what you're doing. I agree with you. But they are absolutely necessary. Every time I go to the range, I got to get comfortable with my pistol. Every time I got to go to the range, I'll be like, oh, give me the thing for my ears. Give me the thing for the ears and put my things up. But I bet you I shoot a target. It's real serious out here. There's a lot of suckers out there, and they waiting to take your life. But we don't want to believe stuff like that. Right? We don't want to believe stuff like that. We don't want to believe that this kind of stuff will happen to us. And I saw the Joker. He looked like a melanated man. I'm just trying to say. I'm just putting it out there. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't a melanated man. Maybe he just had a really nice tan. I don't want to make any assumptions. Right? That's right. Somebody said this stuff has been lawless. The difference is we can now see these suckers. We can see these suckers, absolutely. Thank God for social media and cell phones, right? We can see these suckers. You absolutely right. But let me tell you something. Now I'm going back to my little back in the days. I don't know about you, Saya Soprano. Look at his name. He's a melanated brother. You know he is. Saya, you playing games with me. Where you get that name from, Saya? Saya. How y'all come up with these names? Saya Soprano. Why can't it be Saya Shaka? Why can't your name be Saya Shaka? Right? Why can't it be Saya Malcolm? X, Saya X. Why I gotta be Soprano? I'm just saying. I'm gonna mind my business. But let me tell you something. It has, I sing soprano. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I get you. Nice. You sang soprano. You got to send me a recording. It's probably nice. I like that. And I'm not being funny. You know, if I was being funny, I'll make a joke about it. But I'm not. I like that. He sings soprano. Maybe we got to find a different name for you, though. Right? But I do like that. Big shout out to you, Saya X. So, Saya X, I don't know where you from. But where I'm from, Saya X, you're right. These streets have been lawless. But I don't know. When I was growing up, we did something about the lawless. When I was a little kid, so I ain't do nothing about the lawless. but I visually seen people in my community say, no, it's getting reckless out here. It's lawless out here. And you guys are not going to terrorize our women, our children, our young boys. You're not going to do it. You're not going to eat up our community. So we're going to go, we're going to put on a beret hat. Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? And we all going to wear the same color jackets. And we're going to ride the trains of New York City. And we're going to make sure we guard our community. And we're going to be their angels. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And we're going to make sure thugs know that we ain't playing. We come with bats. We come with knives. We come with mace. We come ready and we ride these trains late hours and we make sure people are safe. And if it's a young woman or an elderly person walking by themselves, we will walk them home to make sure they are safe. I'm just trying to tell y'all something. So there you go. Go ahead, Sire. See, I love me some Sire X, baby. I love Sire X. He already know what Sire said. Guardian angels, baby. Guardian angels. So yes, it has been lawless. But we did something about it back in the days. We did something about it. What's happening now when we allow criminals to rule our streets? What's happening now when we allow criminals to go free in our community? What happens now when we feel that we cannot protect ourselves from these hoodlums? What's happening? The new Black Panthers, right? What's happening? What's happening? I don't get it. I don't get it. So what is the other story? Okay, here's another thing. Now, this right here, let me talk to the married folk. How many of y'all married in relationships? That's right. Parents are afraid of their own children who become thugs. That is true. That is true. We have children who have raped their mamas. I'm not lying to y'all. We already see, because I show you all the time, children killing their mamas, their grandmas, their daddies. We got parents taking their children along the ride with them to kill people. It's crazy. It's crazy in the streets. So here's the story for the married people. Shout out to all my married people in the audience. Now I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this, to my married people, okay? You ready? I'm gonna read this story to y'all. We're gonna talk about this, okay? Now, this one here is a man who is accused of holding a razor blade to a woman's neck on a jet blue flight. Now, let me pause for the cause. I done told people all the time. I know a lot of people like to fly JetBlue. I don't know how that person got a blade on one. So we can't blame JetBlue for that. We got to blame TSA for that. But JetBlue, Southwest, and what's that yellow airline? The piece of crap one? Spirit. I don't like taking those airlines. I will. It ain't safe in these streets, y'all. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe for the Black or the white girls. It's crazy. So let me tell you about this story here. A Utah man was arrested and charged after allegedly holding a razor blade to a woman's neck on flight. Merrill Darrow Fracco, too many L's in this man's damn name, 41 years old, was on a JetBlue flight from New York City to Salt Lake City on November 21st when he Yeah. Woo. That wasn't YouTube, y'all. That wasn't YouTube. That was on my end. It wasn't YouTube. So let me go back. I have to pause for the cause. What part did y'all leave me on? I need y'all. Officer Stomach done dripped over the damn cord. Basically, no, just kidding. We gotta blame it on our men. Blame it on our men, right? No, it was technical difficulties. It absolutely was. What what part did I leave it off at, y'all? Just let me know so I can pick up from right there. Because I got a lot to say about this one here, right? So I said I'll take it back. What part did I leave off at? I need y'all to let me know. Man in Utah held a razor to the woman's neck on a flight. That's the only thing y'all heard? Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Okay, so a man in Utah, he said, it says here, Merrill Darrell Frackle, too many damn L's, 41 years old, was on JetBlue flight from New York to Salt Lake City on November 21st, where he allegedly assaulted the passenger next to him. That's according to the Department of Justice. He was sitting in a window seat in a row with a married woman and man and engaged in conversation with the woman. See, that's where I paused it. And engaged in conversation with the woman. And engaged in conversation with the woman. Now, did he start talking to her before she began watching the movie on her phone? Or did he start talking to her while she was watching the movie on the phone? I don't know. I'm going to have something to say about that in a second. It says the woman began watching a movie using headphones. So she wasn't disturbing him. She had on headphones and said she can hear Frackle continue to talk to himself, but she was not paying attention. So he somehow was having a conversation with her. Somewhere along the line, she put headphones on and was watching a movie, and he's still having a conversation with her, who was a married woman sitting next to her man. You understand what I'm trying to say? Frackle then put his hand in front of the screen of her phone and told her to pause the movie. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Maybe some of y'all don't. I'm gonna keep on talking because I know some of y'all, you shout out to all the women. Shout out to all the women. We don't need no men. We need no man. We don't need no man. She clearly didn't need her man. But anyway, the woman alleges that she took off her headphones and realized Frackle had what appeared to be a knife positioned inches from her neck. The object was later identified as a straight edge razor with 1 or 2 inch blade. Frackle allegedly stood up and yelled, "She's going to be okay and no one needs to worry." He allegedly told the husband to get the F out of here. Where we do that at? The woman's husband got up to alert a flight attendant. The woman lunged for the owl, and Frackle tried to grab her shoulder to stop her. Another passenger, not the husband, another passenger seated across the aisle saw Frackle holding an object, confronted him, and was able to get him to put the object he was holding down on the seat. He passed the object, which turned out to be a razor, to the flight crew for safekeeping, according to the complaint. He then sat next to Frackle for the duration of the flight. Let me pause for the cause. I can't make this stuff up. I'm so done. I'm so done, y'all. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. Somebody said, say what? Somebody said, child, right? Baby. Baby. Now, this is not a funny story in no way, shape, or form. But did it not tell y'all this is sucker-free Sundays? This is sucker, and there's a lot of suckers out here. Y'all better learn how to stay sucker-free. How did this dude get a razor on the plane? And how did this woman's husband not pop that mother? Ooh, baby, I just can't. Not today, not tomorrow, not tonight, not never. And why is she engaging in a conversation with her man sitting right next to her? Baby, babe. Babe, can you imagine that?
No.
With me talking to another man while I'm sitting next to you.
What y'all talking about?
Exactly. What the hell would we be
What y'all
talking
talking
about?
about? Hopefully he owes some money.
He won't even be talking. He'd be like, can you move this couple away from me? Right? Can they cannot well why she gotta be with her legs on him like that? Why they gotta act like they're attached to each other?
Don't forget, we could be cracking on his ass too.
Yeah, we would be cracking on his ass, right? Ready to pop her. We both would jump that motherfucker. We both would be on his ass. Woo! Good Lord, I can't. I said, what in the hell did I just read, y'all? What did I just read, y'all? Why was she sitting next to him in the first place? Let me tell you something. When we go places and you got to sit side by side, if there's a man sitting there in an empty seat, Stedman sits there and I sit on a seat over. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because it's just, you just got to have that kind of mindset. You know, there's a whole bunch of suckers out here. Everybody's a sucker. You just got to have that mindset. Why did this woman's husband go leave his wife with a man that has a razor with 2 inches of a blade to her neck, yelling she's gonna be okay, and told her husband to get the F out of here? He leave her there. She lunges into the aisle to get away from him. Where we do that at? Baby, baby. I don't know. Baby, I can't. Whew. I said this can't be a real story. This can't be a real story. And I checked it out. It's on every news channel. It is a real story, right? I don't know how he's still married. Maybe he got a lot of money. Because you know how some women are. I ain't saying all of y'all, right? I don't know. But let me go on to say the alleged incident occurred near the end of the flight, according to a spokesperson for JetBlue. Crew members responded by working to de escalate the situation and notify law enforcement who met the flight in Salt Lake City. The safety of our customers and crew members is JetBlue's first priority, and we will support law enforcement during their investigation. She could have been dead on that plane. She could have been dead on the plane. Her husband would have ran to the front of the goddamn aircraft. The husband would have been gone. She would have had a 2 inch blade in her damn throat. How is another man stepping in to protect your wife? There is something going on in the water. How? I don't know. Maybe y'all cool with this. I'm not cool with it. Oh shoot! Here it starts. Here it starts. Wouldn't a husband be kind of toxic if he wouldn't allow her to talk to another man? Are we assuming the man isn't a psychopath? Oh shoot! Listen, let me say this. Let me make sure I say it because I know how some people are. They're gonna be riding into my channel. Riding into my channel. I'm setting women back by 400 years. Right? I'm setting all women back. I'm terrible. I ain't telling you how to roll with your man, baby. If you can talk to other men in the presence of your man and your man is cool with it, then don't expect him to save your ass when a razor blade comes towards your throat. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you. Don't expect your man to pop off for you because you equal. And there's nothing wrong with being equal. Nothing is wrong with being equal. But I'm gonna tell you like this: we live in a lawless country, baby. And we have our own agreement when we leave out this house. We know what the rules are when we leave. Yes, we have rules for each other, and I'm okay with it, right, babe? I'm okay with it. We have rules for each other when we leave. We know what the expectations are. We know what they are. We already know. We already know what the strategy is. Today is Sunday's dinner. The daughter had to go off into the car to get to her own place by herself. And before she left, what we did, we broke down what for her?
How to stab a motherfucker.
How to stab a motherfucker. Woo, baby,
Mason
right?
stab.
Mason stab. Mason stab. Mace stabbing and spray the wound. Did we not? And where was her mace, babe?
In her motherfucking hand.
We know, no, we have to tell her to put it in her pocket so she
Oh,
can have it in her hand. It was in her book bag. Oh, hell no, you don't. You better take that sucker. And where's your knife? Take them both out and put them in your pocket. And when you get into your house, you can put them back in your bag. Keep it in your pocket. And I don't care. Anybody come too close to you, you mace and stab. We'll deal with everything else from there.
mhm.
Mace and stab. Everybody is crazy in America. When you are on an airline and your wife got a blade to her neck, we know the world is going crazy. Lawless. Lawless. How y'all doing with that reform? Y'all still voting for that stuff? Right? Because I know some of y'all don't care. Y'all like, we don't care. No one should be in jail. No one should be in jail. We have too many people in jail. No one should be criminalized.
So these questions.
We have to give them mental health counseling. We cannot lock them up. They need treatment. They don't know what they're doing.
You know, burn my tongue out.
Right? This is what we're saying, y'all. This is what we're saying, y'all. Right? Right. Somebody said we're going to protect each other as a couple, period. You better have your strategy. Right? Somebody said I would have shoved that cell phone down his throat, baby. Y'all would have been recording us on JetBlue for World Star. Y'all would have been like, oh shit, isn't that the doc? Ooh, we would have been lighting that motherfucker up in flight.
Mhm.
In flight. We all would have been in the federal prison that day. A knife? But I'm gonna end this by saying, I'm gonna say somebody said we have safety coming to Illinois. Oh, y'all got it coming. Listen, Illinois should not have safety, in my opinion. But this is who we voting for. This is who we voting for. We like this stuff. We like the right to be wrong and the wrong to be right. We like this stuff. We like a lawless country. We talk about Afghanistan and stuff. We have become the new type of Afghanistan, baby. We are crazy up in this country. Absolutely. No one is safe. It ain't 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 safe for the black or the white girls. It's crazy out in these streets. It's crazy here, right? Sure. I'm just saying. Y'all know 2023 is about to get lit because 2024 will be the new presidency. Is about to get lit. Y'all better get ready, baby. Y'all better get ready, baby. I ain't playing no games out here in these streets. I ain't playing with Biden, but I'm gonna mind my business because Tuesday is the political conversation, not today. I'm gonna mind my business. I ain't gonna get you. I ain't gonna get y'all on that today. But I want you to know the lawlessness. The lawlessness. It doesn't matter. You could be on an airplane. You could be riding an Uber. You could be taking your boys to football practice. You could be delivering mail. You could be knocking on. I mean, living in your apartment, minding your business. Somebody trying to come in your apartment. It don't matter where you are at. But for all the people that want to take it to the church, I'm gonna end this Sunday. I'm going to take y'all to church today, baby. My last story for the night. We are going to go to church with Dwayne Dawkins.
You know,
Dwayne Dawkins, because I know a lot of my community members, just their pastors are very important to them. And I see why. I see why pastors are important. Very important. And they say that's why I stay prayed up, baby. I stay prayed up. I go to church. I pay my tithe. I take care of the elderly. I sing on a choir. And I love my pastor and my first lady. So we are going to give a big shout out to the church today. We want to say thank y'all all for praying for us. Let's thank Pastor Dwayne Dawkins. Let's talk about him. Mary Atlanta pastor speaks out about his sneaky link. He's a good pastor. I love my pastor. Pastor Dwayne Dawkins of the Leaders in Training Conference in Atlanta is speaking out about his, I can't say the G word, y'all, but you know what kind of sex tapes he had. Because, YouTube would block me. But the G word, sex tape. According to Love B. Scott, Dawkins is a married father of three kids who frequently condemn acts of homosexuality from the pulpit. The outlet writes, after a video leaked online of him hooking up with what Dawkins describes as a sneaky link, the pastor quickly released a statement admitting to being bisexual. Shout out to the pastor. Shout out to the pastor. Dawkins said he knew his sexual encounter with the man would be recorded. He just wasn't expecting it to be leaked. Check out his full remarks on a YouTube clip. So on a YouTube clip, he has his YouTube clip. I don't know if y'all saw it, where he did a whole sermon and he was condemning homosexuality. He was condemning it. He said y'all was going to hell. Right? It's not allowed. It's an abomination. Bad. And his sneaky link said, listen, pastors, either you pay me up front. He probably said it like that too. Either you pay me up front, or I got to post this video to get those coins, baby, because ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free. So I can make money on my OnlyFans, or you can pay me up front and I won't post it. What you want to do? What you want to do, pastor? Well, he didn't know he was a pastor, allegedly. And then he said, all right, go ahead and post it. Go ahead and post it. Because I ain't got the money to pay you. He probably didn't say that, but I think he did. I ain't got the money to pay you. So he posts. He posts the act on OnlyFans. Now, y'all do know what OnlyFans is, right? And OnlyFans, you got to pay a subscription fee so you can get on there and watch these videos. So one of his congregation members happened to be on that OnlyFans channel. Y'all following this story? And he said, wait a minute, that's my pastor, not my pastor. Not my pastor. And he contacted the content creator who posted it on OnlyFans. I know him. That's my pastor. I was watching y'all last night, by the way. Good video. I like that. I got to try some of them things out. But nonetheless, I was watching him and I said, it's my pastor. Oh, no. And so the content creator said, oh, I didn't know he was a pastor. Yeah. He was like, yeah, child. He a pastor. He married. He got kids. And he be talking against homosexuality and everything. And when I saw him, I was like, right? That's what he said. That's my pastor. So it was that person, the member of his church, who saw him on OnlyFans, who said, oh, hell to the no. You ain't going to be out here telling the congregation that homosexuality is wrong. You ain't going to use us, my community. You're not going to use my community for your coins in your Tide box. You're not going to do that. And then act like you better than my community and you are part of my community. Oh, hell to the no. You ain't going to do nothing like that. Oh, baby, I got it for you. I got the smoke. And he brought it. He brought it. He put it out there. He said, oh, now I'm gonna show the whole world what you be doing, you lie. You's a lie. So, the pastor had to go on and do damage control. He said, Pastor Dawkins said he's been dealing with bisexual tendencies his entire life. I had connected with an individual of the same gender, and I've had throughout my childhood up until even this moment dealing with bisexual tendency. He said it was wrong. Why is it wrong, Pastor? Why is it wrong? That evening, you can imagine, I did not sleep. I have a wife, 3 beautiful sons, pastor of a church in South Florida for 14 years. At that point in the family, loved ones and all that. So the weight of that shame sat on me. He said he contemplated suicide over the embarrassing ordeal. That night, I decided I had to live for my sons, which is worse, a dead father or a bisexual struggling father. I made the decision to live. Now, here's my thing for Pastor. Pastor, just stand in your truth. Just be transparent, be honest, and be truthful. Pastor, I'm just saying. Just stand in your truth. Why you gotta be fake and all? Okay, you got a boo. Your wife know you bisexual, right? Your wife ain't stupid. Pass her. Your wife ain't stupid. She know you like guys and you like, okay, you fluid. Okay. And a lot of people are. You fluid. You fluid. You flow in and out. Right? This is okay. It's okay, Pastor. Pastor is okay. The church is still going to support you, Pastor. They're still going to support you. They're still going to come to church. They're still going to pray over you and First Lady. They're still going to have your pastor anniversary, your birthday. They're still going to sing in a choir. They're going to have them fish fries. They're going to have the ministry building fund. They're going to have all of that, Pastor. It's okay. Just stand in your truth, baby. Or you can start by stop shaming people, you lying bastard. Stop shaming people. See, I ended with that story because it's Sunday. It's a good story to end with. And I know a lot of people went to church today. And that's nothing wrong with that. I love a good gospel, man. Y'all know how to tear it up. Music with melanated people, right? We just love a good gospel. I love a good gospel. I'm just trying to say. They listen, a pastor, like both men and women, I don't see nothing wrong with that. That's what he do. That's his business. Okay, he wants to go on OnlyFans with his sneaky link. Okay, he was boo loving. Okay, that's his business. That's his business. But here's what I don't like. I don't like the lies. I don't like lying to the church. I don't like lying to God. I don't like using religion and religious dogma as your employment, as your livelihood, to pay for your bills, to give you access and privilege. You telling people one thing and you turn around and doing another. I don't like the hypocrisy. And the reason why I put it out there like that is because I want y'all to stay sucker free because there's a lot of suckers out there. That pastor's a sucker. I want y'all to stay sucker free. I put it out there that way because you all, not you all in this community, because I know how my community, we have people that stop by just to watch sometimes, right? So they're not part of our community, like to watch us talk. So I'm going to talk to those people that like to stop by. But some of you all, y'all look at people and you go by how they make you feel. And you don't know their story. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what people are struggling with. You don't know what people do in their bedrooms. You don't know people's beliefs. They just can go by because they know what you want to hear to influence you to get your dollar out of your pocket into their pocket. They will tell you anything you want to hear to make you feel good because people want to feel good. They want to feel good. And pastors make people feel good. But pastors are people. Pastors beat their wives. Pastor beats their children. Pastors sleep with other women. Pastors sleep with other men. Pastors steal. Pastors use drugs. Pastors are alcoholics. Pastors are liars. Pastors are cheats. Pastors are abusive with their language, with their treatment of people. They're human. They're human. And I can't stand, and I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this after this. But I cannot stand when people say, you should come visit my church. I'm good. I'm good. I got my own church family. If I want to go visit a church, I'll go back to my church. If I want to go visit a church, I got so many different religious institutions I can go visit. If I want to go visit my old mosque, I can go back to my old mosque. If I want to go to my old church, I go to my own church. I don't need your church. But my pastor's different. Your pastor is just like any other pastor, human. And the truth is, we don't know what goes on behind their doors. What you're worshiping is an idol. That's what you're worshiping. You don't know what goes on behind that person's doors. And it does matter. Just like you like to judge other people, you want to judge people about the way they dress, about the choices they make, whether they sleeping when they're not sleeping with somebody, when they're not married, whether they have children by different mothers or different fathers. Y'all got something to say about everybody but your pastor, because your pastor can dress it up really nicely. Your pastor dresses it up really nicely. Your pastor knows how to hide it. And so, therefore, you believe it's true because they have created an illusion. And you judge everybody that you see whose life is on display, and then you put your pastor on a pedestal whose life is hidden. I say just listen to the message. If that's all you need to do, just listen to the message. Stop putting people on a pedestal. Don't come to me and say, you got to visit my church. No, but my pastor's the truth. So you know your pastor? So you just really know you ain't even the truth. I see the way you talk to your wife. I see the way you talk to your husband. You ain't even the truth. So if you ain't the truth, how you think your pastor's the truth? I'm just trying to say. I'm just trying to say. So I wanted to end it with that because I know a lot of people say, you know what, that's why I stay with my church, and I'm in church every day and I just pray and I just do, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying anything about that. Is absolutely fine. What I'm saying to you, that even though you go to church every day and you pray every day and you listen to the gospel every day, and your pastor's the best thing since sliced bread, and your pastor is doing well for the community and everybody love your pastor, only thing I'm saying for you is to stay sucker free and realize your pastor is a human, and you do not know everything that goes on in your pastor's life. We would like to assume that they're healthy adults, and we would like to assume that they're loved by their family and they don't mistreat them and they haven't cheated on their husbands or cheated on their wives or beat their children or molested their children or molested the children in the neighborhood or molested their niece. We would like to think that they don't neglect their mothers and their fathers. We would like to think that they're great people, but I'm saying you don't know them. And maybe if you started seeing people for who they are and not for what you want them to be, you'll be in a better position to stay sucker free. This is Sucker Free Sunday. Everybody can get it on Sucker Free Sunday. Everybody, no one is off limits. So how y'all like today? I'm finished. I have nothing else to say. I hope you guys are following me on Instagram and partaking into my relationship fun facts and my videos that I got out there. And I hope y'all all are on Instagram. If you have not joined me on Instagram, go over and join Pastor Shonna on Instagram. I'm gonna start pasting the collection plate. I want y'all to go over there, okay? I want y'all to share the video. I want you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you're on Facebook, to like and follow the page. Most importantly, remain sharing comments. Keep the video active. I try to keep the video PG-13, but this is sucker free. And like Officer Stedman wanted me to tell you guys, he said no one in no community is safe. No one in no community is safe. So keep in mind, we are living in unlawful times. People do not respect civilization. People do not respect freedoms. People do not respect the law. You got to know that. You have to understand that we are not all mentally well, and people who look well ain't well. So stay sucker free. If you start treating people with the assumption that they're not well, you will move better in the streets. I look at everybody as unwell. I'm just telling y'all the truth. And that way I know how to move with them. You walk up on me too soon, I might jump back like, what the fuck? Don't jump on me. Shout out to Cal. Cal saw me in Macy's, and Kyle, he was respectful. He said hi. He said, I listened to you on YouTube, Dr. Shonna, right? I said, yes. I said, what's your name? He said, Kyle. I said, nice to meet you. He went about his business. I went about mine. I like it just like that, right? I like it just like that. Don't catch me off guard. And when you do, just make sure you keep the distance, because I'm looking at you as a nutty one. And you may not be nutty. You might be my bestest friend, right? But I'm looking at you as a nutty one, because everybody in these streets are nutty. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I want y'all to keep your head on a swivel. And last but not least, understand that the country that we have right now, the country called America, I know a lot of y'all don't like America, but I've been to a lot of countries. I've been to a lot of countries, and a lot of countries got their shit. And even our own continent, aka Africa, some of them places ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe for the black or the brown girl. It ain't safe out there in some of them areas too. So I say all that to say, listen, I love to visit everybody, but I do love America. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. America is wicked without a doubt, but we wicked too. Everybody's wicked, and I do love America. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love America. America is lawless. America is the wild, wild west. It's dangerous out in these streets, but I do love the freedoms that have come with America. There's some freedoms I wish we didn't have. They need to go under the sink, in the toilet, down the drain, in the garbage. To tell you the truth, some of the things that America is doing, they should not be doing. I will say that, but nonetheless, I do love my country. But I want y'all to know that my country is a haven for criminals, and it started by criminals. My country is a haven for murderers, and it started by murderers. My country is a haven for child traffickers and human traffickers, and it started by them as well. My country is a vicious country. I'm just trying to say, is a vicious country. So that right there lets me know I should never close my eyes. I should never stop turning my head from the left and the right, because I started in a country that's filled with criminals, murderers, thieves, traffickers. I started in a country like that, and ain't nothing different right now. This is what the blood that's in America's fabric. This is how America started. This is how America's going to end. And although I love America, I keep my head on a swivel, because anything goes in this country. I love y'all all. Have a blessed night, and I will see you all next week, and hopefully before Mental Health Fridays. Be blessed.